All right, Britney Spears is almost free, you guys. After months of public pressure, her father, James Spears, agreed to step down as Britney's conservator. Now, this comes just weeks after Britney's new attorney filed a petition to replace her father. Now, the document, I'm sorry, let me just go through this long statement that he made. I don't want to even get into it. Are you guys excited for Britney that there has been some progress? And I really feel like a lot of it came about because of the public. And do you think she'll be able to forgive her dad for this?
So I definitely think the Free Britney movement put pressure on the universe to make some wheels start turning. I think that the father is doing this only because there was a risk of a forensic audit that probably would have showed that he did mismanage some of that girl's money. I don't feel like this is just a voluntary move. I mean, he had a vested interest in protecting his role as that conservator, and we know it was financial in nature, in my opinion. But I will say this, y'all. I saw that video of Britney freaking out about having that iPad, and while I'm not a doctor, there was something about that just rang. She is not
ready
there. So while we screaming free Britney, yes, and maybe we need to amend that to not free Britney, but what it is when they send them to a new prison,
halfway house.
Yeah, let's get her out the prison and put her in a halfway house situation per se, because something obviously is not right.
What do you think, Al?
Well, first of all, guys, the conservatorship is not going anywhere. That's not what the ruling was. The ruling is only to relieve the father of the conservatorship. The court still found that the conservatorship is needed. And like you said, Q, just from a glimpse of what you saw was concerned, the courts still say that the conservatorship has to stay. And as it relates to the father, I think that he probably was influenced by popular opinion, right? Because the public got into this and was making him out to be a bad dad. But it's quite clear, according to the last hearing, that the father saved Britney. Not only did he save her physically, but he protected her reputation, and restored her career by putting her on this conservatorship. And no one can debate that.
What do you think about him getting that $16,000 a month for 12 years?
That he will continue to get that for he got that for 12. He will get it for the next 12.
The past 12 years.
Well, you know what? I would have to get a breakdown of his responsibilities.
Well, Britney was getting $14,000 a month, so he was getting $2,000 a month more than his daughter.
I mean,
I think I would probably have to see that in court documents. I don't know what that is, but do know this: before and when he took over the conservatorship, she was in debt. Like, she was on the verge of going bankrupt. All right, remember? So he actually turned that all around by putting everybody, including the family members, on a budget, and her too. So I think that was a part of the not only mental health relief, but also the financial concerns that the courts found when they audited her books in order to initiate the conservatorship.
And like I said, I would just have to see what all his roles were. Like, if he was serving as the manager, the conservator, and all this, that, and the third, I think it's less about how much he's getting versus what she's getting, and is he being paid adequately for the roles that he served.
The roles that he paid,
and it's so funny because I'm actually in this situation now with my brother. I'm his conservator, and when I get back, I'm in a situation now where he's been allotted a lump sum of money, and I have to figure out, of that, how much he needs weekly or monthly, or however I decide I'm going to give it to him. And it's a very sticky situation to be in. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But I have to do it because I know if I give him this pot of money, it'll be gone in a week.
Right.
I think this is a case of where the optics look really bad, even if he's doing a good thing. And that's what's swaying public opinion, who's not going to take the time to look through the case and read the documents and, you know what I mean? Like, do the research. So when we hear, wow, she's still performing, but she's like kind of locked up and she has no control and she has to take birth control and all these kinds of things that sound awful, the optics and the details that we're getting like leaked, I guess, sound really, really bad. Right. Did y'all hear about go ahead.
I was going to say, here's what's funny. I had a friend that's a doctor that sent me a text and said, you need to get your brother a vasectomy. And I was offended by it. I was like, that's just not your place. And who are you? You haven't even said hello. We haven't even talked in a couple of months. And when I called her, she explained why. And depending on what Britney's mental illness is, you know what I'm saying? The whole birth control thing may have been about spreading this, you know, having a baby that could have this same issue. I think you used the right word, the optics. I think the optics are bad, but as things begin to unfold, it really is starting to look like the dad was doing the right thing.
Well, as it related to her reproductive, I mean, I remember reading this in the court documents. It related to her reproductive. It was because she was exercising some promiscuous ways in which they felt that somebody could come along, have a baby with her, and then, you know, get out of money, take her money.
I tell you, being responsible for another adult is no fun cue. I know you're dealing with it. My mom had to take over an elderly woman's life that was being abused, and all of her money was taken by a bank employee who they found guilty of taking $240,000 from this woman. And the outsiders that want some of that money will insult you and question your integrity because they want to get to that. They hate that someone's there to put the brakes and stop the bleeding and, you know, the robbery, I guess you'd say. Also, moving on, the judge in Britney's case, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department actually is monitoring threats sent to this judge, who happens to be Black, because she's getting a lot of hate mail and hate texts to her. The Sheriff's Department said, although some of the language on social media is concerning, at this time it's not been risen to the level of a credible criminal threat. But here are some of the tweets. Judge Brenda Penny needs to effing die. Someone investigate that bitch now. And another Twitter user wrote, Brenda Penny, I will kill your ugly ass now. That sounds like a criminal threat to me, and that should be taken seriously. What do you think?
They need to leave Brenda alone. Brenda, I know Brenda from First Baptist Church. She's on the Ursha board. She's nice. She come to church every Sunday. She help out. She always have something nice. She make the cornbread and she make good potato salad. Y'all leave Brenda alone. Brenda was just doing her job. Y'all reroute all your anger and your grievances to Jamie Lynn Spears, because that's where it deserves, and leave Brenda out of this for just doing her job.